Hey guys, Audrey here again with Adaptable Strategy from my car. Wanted to go through a couple different things. I wrote down some quick notes so I wouldn't forget anything. But I wanted to talk to you about perceived value versus actual value. And the idea came to me based on pulling a tag off of a piece of clothing this morning. So I was thinking about it, and on the tag there was a $120 price tag of the manufacturer suggested price, and then of course what I paid for it, which happened to be a very low price because I picked up it at a sale, and so I got it for like 10 bucks or 20 bucks, something stupid cheap anyway, or cheap to me, right? Thinking of the perceived value on that was going to be, this is normally $120, I got it for 20 or 10 or something along those lines. That's a great deal. So here's the thing, there's two different types when you have a product or service you're offering. There's you can go in either direction, right? So if you focus on building your brand and the brand exclusivity or the brand item. Now, for example, there's two, like look at knockoff purses, for example, right? There's purses. Okay, leather purses. They might all be nicely made. They might be made the same factory even, but one that carries a brand name that we perceive as customers as a higher value or higher demand for that product. Or so Prada, Coach, all of your high level brands, whether through marketing essentially, they may be the same quality in many ways as anything else that's necessarily on the non-brand, just like cereals or anything you can think of. But I'm just using purses and clothing as an example. Your perceived value and the demand is different, and it's based on either brand name. Now on the same level, just like I bought that clothing for $20, that piece of clothing is cotton. I mean, it's cotton clothing. It wasn't cheaply made, but it wasn't necessarily poorly made either. I don't know that it was the real cost of manufacture was not $120 for that, for sure. The real cost of retail cost should not have been $120 for sure, but that brand made that perception of the value at $120. I thought personally that it was worth $20. So when you look at the bottom side of that, my perceived value was that I had got such a great discount off of that product that the urgency to buy it at $20 was there for me. So there again, you can look at it as a demand to purchase because there's exclusivity at a higher price or exclusivity at a clearance price, either direction. So here's what I was thinking about marketing and how it applies to products or services. Strategy is key, right? So adjusting your product or service's intangible value within the strategy itself can help provide basically some cost saving or methods within your marketing strategy itself and increase your overall business value. So again, I wrote my notes, and I was curious, so I did a little bit of research on this briefly because I wanted to kind of go back and see. I remember these classes and the concept behind it, and also just the, I guess, background of when you really start adding it, like McDonald's is a cheeseburger. Grocery store cheeseburger, Costco's cheeseburgers, with grocery, so the perceived value of cheeseburgers all meat. So why is one more expensive than the other, right? So interesting thing I found was a little tidbit, and it was from a story from a TED Talk back in 2008 or 2006, something like that. But it was interesting because it was Frederick the Great, so I took notes. So Frederick the Great of Prussia in 1774 rebranded nothing other than the potato. Yes, the ordinary, average potato. He had this great idea to plant potatoes in order to protect against famine in any sort of bad cases, right? Well, his subjects rejected this thought. They did not like this idea. They didn't think it was worth anything, and they were really putting up just nobody wanted to do it. I mean, in potato farming, you dig a hole, lump it around. It's not very difficult. So what he did was he decided to change the perception of the potato. So he declared the potato a royal vegetable, which, I mean, everybody loves French fry, but he declared the potato a royal vegetable, and then ordered his guards and made it known to his subjects that he was going to plant it in the royal garden, and he's going to have guards protecting it day and night, right? Well, secretly, Frederick the Great of Prussia decided to not have the guards protect it very well. He actually made it their thing that they weren't supposed to protect it very well. So what happened there? The subjects then perceived this potato as something worth higher value than it truly was, because it was protected and guarded. So the perceived value of a potato was higher. And what did that do? That made a lot of people steal the damn potato. So a lot of people were stealing the potatoes and secretly growing potatoes, which inevitably gave him the result that he wanted. Potatoes were planted in his subjects' farms and land, and protecting his subjects against famine. So it's just interesting to see that the perceived value and how something so simple can change the perceived versus real value of an item. The item itself did not change. So what does that mean for you and your business? Well, okay, strategy is key, right? So you're going to want to adjust your product, service, or your product or service's intangible value. And so if you are not using your value proposition in such a way currently, or your marketing strategy to really make sure that you position yourself well in the market, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how we can possibly work together, or maybe talk to somebody else. If you don't want to talk to me, that's okay. But contact me if you want to. I'll do a free evaluation of your marketing strategy for you. And we'll get started developing something that will give you either a content marketing strategy or ideas to really kind of give your business its true value and see what we can do for your customers. So basically just go ahead and give me a call. You can check on my website and schedule a quick 15-minute, 20-minute call. I'll have your information about your business. Want to hear it from you, talk to you, and find out what makes you tick and what your goals are. And then we can go ahead and take your product or service and bring the value where it needs to be and showcase it to your potential customers as well. So a little bit of things from me. Sorry for the 7-minute video, but hey, I think perceived value, 7 minutes, might have been worth a little bit more money. And your time, 7 minutes time, 7 minutes in heaven with Adaptable Strategy.